It's just loading. Oh, perfect. We're on. Hello everyone. I'm James55, and this is my first interview with someone I've worked with for a series and whatever. People will start joining soon, but if you don't know, we have Rare Fan number one.
Hey, 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 everybody! Wow, and thank you for having me. This is actually my very first time in a live broadcast and in StreamYard as well. Again, thank you for having me.
No problem. Now for first question. Why did you want to start a YouTube channel?
Right. Okay. So I wanted to start a YouTube channel because before the year 2017 rolled along, I watched other Thomas users let's see, there's Enterprising Engine 93, Thomas 1 Ever 2, Henry 3, Psychic Jason, Diesel D199, just to name a few. And let's see. Sorry, I may stutter a bit, and this is a bit of an improv. And furthermore, with those YouTubers together, you probably remember the Thomas Creative Collectors, like all their collaborations that they've done for the past years. And I was like,
Hmm?
I really like to be part of that. So when 2017 came along, August, I got to it, basically, right off the bat.
Hmm, very interesting. That's the same way how I started my YouTube channel.
Cool. Well, my dad always said great minds work alike.
That's actually funny. Now, second question. Why
Okay.
did you want to use an American locomotive for your OC instead of using a British locomotive like most people?
Um, well, I think, well, darn, no one's ever asked me that before.
Because you're actually the second person to use an American OC. First one being Andrew Liago.
Oh yeah, I think I know him. He's that blue EMD diesel, correct?
Yes, that is actually correct.
Cool. Well, when I first saw the Camelback locomotives, well, I just thought they were cool, like how they looked, despite having some flaws, like having a cab placed over the driving wheels, but still, nevertheless, I thought it looked pretty cool, even if it did come from another country like America. So, yeah, it just stuck with me ever since. I think since 2000 and maybe late 2019. Like I haven't thought about making a my own train Sona or engine Sona until late 2019.
Until you posted that YouTube video of your Splatsona.
Oh, yeah, my ink Sona.
Yeah.
Like if I could make a split my ink Sona in the Splatoon community, then why not create an engine Sona for the Thomas and Friends community?
Hmm. Very interesting. Okay, what are your dislikes and likes so far in your life?
Uh, Likes and dislikes in my overall life.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Uh, Darn. Well, this may be a bit random. Let's see. For likes, I enjoy scuba diving and basically making people happy the best way I can, whether it's making videos or making comments in their videos to make their day. And let's see. For dislikes, like I said, this may be random. Food wise, when it comes to dislikes, I don't like olives or mustard. Um, yeah.
Do you like anchovies?
Uh, I keep from some of the footage that random footage I've seen, like not many people like it. Like I never had anchovies before, so I can't really say I don't like them. Like I'm eager to try them.
Hmm. Very interesting. Now another question. Do you like any other franchises besides Splatoon and the Thomas and Friends community?
I enjoy Generation 4 of My Little Pony, and let's see, what else? I'm trying to think of all the stuff that I trying to think of all the stuff. All right. And this may be some adult theme as well. I like Vivzy Pop's Has Been Hotel, Hell the Boss. I'm sorry. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to think of one more franchise. And despite me not being a gamer, well, I mean, I am, but I'm not like a full-on gamer. I like Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, Spyro. Yeah, those classics.
Hmm, very interesting, because the few other things you just said are some things I like. I do like Generation 4 MLP. I do
Cool.
like Help Boss. I like Has Been Hotel. Those are all cool.
Yeah.
Now, here's another question. What is your
Oh.
top five favorite engines from Thomas and Friends and your top five dislike engines? In no particular order.
Um, darn. I'm not too sure about. I don't know about dislikes because maybe I don't have that many dislikes. I like to think of myself as an average new characters enjoyer, but so top five engines I like, at least in no particular order. I like Percy, Rebecca, Emily, Rheneas, and Toad.
Hmm, very interesting list. My top five favorite characters are James, Edward, Daisy, Ryan, and Diesel 10.
Cool.
My my dislikes in no particular order are
Mhm.
Billy,
Mm,
Charlie,
uh,
Bash, Dash, and Ferdinand, since they basically appeared in one movie, so you basically count that as just one engine total.
yeah.
And that's it.
Huh. All right. Well, I mean, it's understandable. Like, people have different opinions on certain characters. I mean, I guess Billy is also understandable, like, considering the fact he only appeared one time. I'm not too sure if I should count the other cameos that he appeared, but yeah.
He was also supposed to reappear in CGI.
Yeah, but then he got replaced by Charlie. Yeah, I remember that from the wiki.
Wouldn't it been much more sense to keep Billy? Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how annoying is Billy to Charlie?
Uh, well, I mean, if they ever met, like, wait,
They're
how
basically
annoying
the
Billy
same.
will be to Charlie? You said?
Like, how annoying is Billy on a scale of 1 to 10?
Um, I like to say I would probably give him like a 7 out of 10, like kind of annoying up to the point.
How annoying is Charlie on a scale of 1 to 10?
Uh, hmm.
Because in
Charlie,
your ser-
he would probably be
because
like
in,
a. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
because in your series you make Charlie act so mature.
Yeah, like I try to make him like yeah, like in my series, I tried to make whatever whether the character's likable or dislikable in the original series. In my series, I try to make them as likable as possible, but at the same time, I don't really want to like do a complete character rewrite. But anyways,
Makes sense.
so Charlie would be maybe less annoying than Billy because one thing we got to remember, Billy just likes to jump to conclusions and assume that everyone's bossy when they're just trying to help him follow the rules. Whereas Charlie, on the other hand, is just a happy-go-lucky jokester, try to like make people laugh, make their day in a way. At
Do you
least
know
that's
that
how
I
I.
wouldn't Do you know what I wouldn't be surprised of? Is if Mattel and Nickelodeon decided to do a Loud House and Thomas and Friends crossover. I know a perfect duo that would be perfect for playing jokes and pranks.
Oh, I think I know where we're going with this.
I was thinking Luann and Charlie as a perfect pair as pranksters, and jokesters.
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah, because they both have things in common. They like telling jokes, sometimes they're not even funny, and sometimes they like pulling pranks.
Hmm.
That would actually be an interesting crossover.
Well,
If they actually thought about doing that.
yeah.
Okay. What are your what are your what are your favorite Thomas and Friends movies from best to worst?
Best to worst. Darn.
Let me guess. I'm asking questions that you haven't even thought about yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Basically, yeah. So if I were to select, I mean, I haven't seen all of them. Being truthful, I haven't really seen all of them, but let's see. If I, from what I know, if I were to select the best one, I think it would have to be, and then again, it has been a while since I've seen the movies. I think the best one, at least in my opinion, would be Calling All Engines.
Hmm. That's kind of my top second favorite movie. My first favorite is Thomas and the Magic Road, but in between those movies is Journey Beyond Sodor.
Nice. That one's
And
yeah,
Journey
that one's
Beyond
pretty
Sodor
cool.
actually leads me to my next question. Are you
Oh.
going to have any JBS characters introduced in your series?
Well, I would if I had like the merchandise of them, but and I might make cameos of them. Like if I were to film something like in the United Kingdom on the mainland, could do like Merlin pulling a steel train, kind of like Seeing is Believing, and maybe Lexi as well. But it is possible that they may appear in my series in a certain time in
Okay,
the future.
that's actually, in my opinion, what I just said might be a good idea. But back to questions. Okay, did you actually made, here's a question that's based off real life and your series. Did you
Really?
put Percy and Rebecca as a relationship because the actors and actress that plays Percy and Rebecca in the show are married?
Well, putting it bluntly, I say yes. Although I try not to milk it in like too much because, well, I mean, I only show it like a few times, but the thing is, I don't want to overdo it and annoy people. But putting it in bluntly, yes. Yes, I did put Percy and Rebecca in a relationship.
That's actually pretty neat. And let
Oh,
me guess, Magic Railroad is non canon to your series?
yes, it's not canon to my series.
So Lady won't appear at all in your series.
Yeah, what? Yeah, that one scene where we saw Lady, it was just a life-size prop. So, in conclusion, Lady will not appear in my series as an actual character.
Hmm, that actually makes a lot of sense now. Okay, let me think of another question. Hmm, think. Hmm. Oh, here's another question. Here's one that I've always wanted to figure out about your series. Why would you put NWR on Henry, Edward, and Toby? Just a curiosity question.
Um, well, cuz like we see engines in real life and they have their railways initials, and I thought about doing like we've seen other engines have their railway initials. Like we see Rosie, Pip, and Emma have the NWR initials. I thought that Edward, Henry, and Toby would have them because during that time, like everyone was just complaining of how those three characters are not in the Steam team anymore. So I thought that maybe I could do a little triplet group because we have like the Farquhar folks. Those would include like Thomas, Percy, and Toby, and we have the Brendan Bunch, Edward, Bill, Ben, Boko. I thought about making like my own little engine group in a way, and they may not be a part of the Steam team, but they were veterans of the Steam team, so I thought that could like liven people up and give them a little cheer up, you know?
Hmm, that's very interesting. Sometimes you could ask me some questions if you'd like.
Um, well, I mean, I didn't really, I only brought myself. I didn't bring a piece of paper or anything. But, hmm.
I'm just thinking of questions from the top of my head.
Okay, all right. Okay, so the first thing coming to mind, and forgive me, so first question that comes to mind, like, what is your favorite food? This is also
Hmm.
Q&A, so favorite food.
Hmm. I would have to go for, in no particular order, since I like mostly almost everything. I would have to say mustard, strawberries, and spaghetti,
Mmm, nice.
and steak.
Oh, yes.
I just had an 11-ounce steak this afternoon for lunch.
Mmm, cool.
Very delicious.
Very neat. Okay. Let's see. Next question. Um, like I said, that these are just random. I'm sorry. I may not be too good at this. What are your favorite animals? Sorry.
Birds, lions, and ostriches.
Cool.
Now, let me go back to asking you some questions.
Okay.
Hmm.
And I did have one more question in mind, but I'll wait till afterward.
Okay. Um, are there any like new characters or voice actors and actresses that are going to voice act or appear in your series?
Let's see. I think the most recent voice actors that arrived in my series, like especially for next episode, um, is let's see, Mickey Fan 1909, where he's going to be voicing as Frank, and let's see, another one who's going to voice as one of the blisters from the Arlesdale Railway, specifically blister number 2. And let's see, one more. Something Productions, who's going to be voicing as Jock.
Cool. And there was also me that recently joined voice acting in your series.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, you voiced Samson from season 3, not season 3, season 4, episode 2, and then the following in Limping Lucy, you had a female filter, and you
Yes,
voiced the main
yeah,
character.
I basically used one of my friends on YouTube who has a friend practically on Twitter or Discord had a thing called Voice Spice to make your voice sound different.
Nice.
So technically, since you're hearing my voice right now, sounds like a male. Basically, I just used a filtered woman sound and I made it higher pitch because I was listening to coaches in the television series and they would always sound high pitched,
Mhm.
including the narrow gauge coaches.
Yep.
I'm glad that no
Basically,
one
most
complained about that.
Hmm.
So, what was your last question before I continue?
Okay, so this is kind of like similar to what you asked me. What made you begin YouTube in the first place?
Hmm. Well, w- similar. That would be where I was when I first got an electronic. I would always like going to YouTube and watch people do Thomas and Friends created stuff like Enterprising Engine 93, Thomas 1 over 2 Henry 3, all those. I'm actually all subscribed to them. They make very interesting series, even some that are funny. Like that one time the D199 put beer inside his tanks.
Oh yeah, I remember that. My jaw literally dropped at that sentence.
And in the finale where James is like, okay, so let me get this straight. You're gonna knock down buildings? Not just knocking down buildings, we're blowing them up.
Yeah.
And that one ending where Henry stops them in their track on the bridge, and they go, no, 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 and they go, boom.
Dang. Yeah, that explosion.
And then in the finale, you have them proceeding like Diesel kills
Yeah,
Dixon's like on the rails. Geesh, that was deadly.
yeah, that it just it was a bittersweet moment, and
And
I
then you
kind of
have
know similar.
Gordon making
Oh,
a reference to season 5, crashing through the station, but instead backing their tenders and cabs into the smelter's shed.
oh yeah, that was a
And
good moment.
Birdie almost dying by smashing through the wall and almost burned like a cooked toast.
Yeah, that was a risky move. There's no denying
And,
that.
and then you have Diesel 10 sacrificing himself and kills Bogustin at the same time.
Yep. Amen to that hero.
Amen. And then you have the updated Natford station, and then Gordon complains about a 5 minute delay, and then you hear Henry coming in and go like, "Oh, oh, a 5 minute delay! The world's gonna end!"
Just that overreaction. It's just a small
Yeah,
delay.
and they have all the engines reacting to having that Bogustin is suing the Fat Controller and taking him to court. You basically have then having Sir Topham Hatt go all savage on Wretch by pulling out a drill.
Oh yeah.
And then you have Spencer coming out of nowhere, and then in the next part says, Tally ho!
I'm sorry.
And
Yes.
then and
Sorry.
then you see Natford Station blow up.
Yeah, all those elemental, like mature themed stuff. Like,
They even made a reference to Avengers Endgame in the last part, where they're like all screaming, and then you hear Avengers Endgame theme while they're puffing away. For Gordon, for Dougie, for Frodo, and then they puff on.
yep,
I liked how they separated into groups to rescue the engines. So basically, the engines that got captured were Arian Burt,
yep. Gordon,
Gordon,
Douglas,
Toby.
and Toby. Yep.
Yeah, I find it weird that they would have it at the Brenham Flour Mill, the lead mines where Thomas fell into the mine, and you have Gordon, Arian Burt at the smelter's yard. And the engines to rescue them are Oliver, Donald, James, and Boko. The next group that was Harvey, Mavis, Edward, Diesel, and Thomas and Percy to rescue Toby. And you basically have Sir Topham Hatt and his father trying to save Gordon, Ari, and Bert.
Yep.
I was surprised that when I saw that Diesel 10 said master before the first part of the engines at the
And
finale for Engines of Sodor.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be PT Boomer.
Yeah, that's what everyone thought.
I didn't think it was actually going to be Bogaston.
Yeah, the twists. That's where they get you. Like, I think that's what I really enjoy the most. Like, all that really good writing. Like, as a matter of fact, Thomas 1, Edward 2, Henry 3's finale was actually the inspiration of the second half of one of my arcs, the Sudrian criminal arc. Like, you know how everything was pieced together, like, way back in 2013, the whole narrow gauge gunpowder robbery.
Yeah, that actually makes sense, and I actually laughed at two parts in that episode. Basically, having someone say, "I can't say it," where they jam the brake, and Bertram and Sir Handel are talking, and they're like, "No, Bertram, we are going on Death March."
Yeah, that was actually that's a fun fact.
Sir Handel. Focus on what could go right instead of what could go wrong. Yeah, like being blown to bits.
Yeah. Fun fact, that's actually one of my favorite episodes from Thomas 1, Edward 2, Henry 3, Attack of the Railway Pirates, specifically part 2. Like, I remember, like, really getting in, my favorite part is where, like, Sir Handel just charges out into the open, like, after Thicken says, "I think someone's watching us." And then the driver's like, "Now!" And then Sir Handel charges, and he's like, "Bah!"
I think my funniest part about the second part was like, "Oh, this is great. We don't even have super glue." And then one of them's like, "Try toothpaste." Literally, who carries toothpaste with them?
I don't know, but I think one life hack I notice, kind of not relating, but I think they say, like, toothpaste is supposed to make, like, metals like silver and copper. I think copper, mostly silver. I don't know about copper. Like, make it appear more shinier.
Ooh, that would actually be really neat to try.
So
let me guess.
Make sure to rinse it first.
Now, for what kind of Thomas merch do you actually collect?
What I actually collect? Currently, as of today, I collect take-alongs, take-and-plays, and I only collect, like, newer merch for, like, newer characters. Like, for example, like, Sonny, for example. Since they're not making, like, the take-and-plays anymore, but, like, the motorized push-alongs. Since they're basically the descendants of the take-alongs, like, with the magnetics, basically whatever character's available, like, they have the merch.
Very interesting. I've also noticed that you would sometimes use Thomas Wooden Railway and Trackmaster models.
Yeah, basically, like, scale-wise, like, normally, like, when there's a narrow gauge scene with a standard gauge, I mainly use, like, the standard gauge. I mainly use Wooden Railway for standard gauge characters, while I use the take-and-plays for narrow gauge characters. I kind of do the same for miniature railway characters as well.
And there are even some people in the comments section of this stream who are chatting to us, and sometimes I'm looking at it, and one of them just said hello to you.
Oh, well, hello back to you as well.
Now, I know this is a question that everyone is probably going to hate me for.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Do you dislike season 25?
Well, I wouldn't say I wouldn't call it season 25, considering the fact that it's officially like a brand new show, like a reboot. Um, put Gonna be brutally honest, I have little to no interest in the reboot or season 25, as they say. I say little to no interest because the only thing that interests me is the new upcoming characters, Kana and Sandy. And
So are you actually happy that it's actually going to be a separate show? Because by what someone else told me who knew by this other person is that this All Engines Go is actually a spin-off to the actual series.
hmm. Well, the series hasn't really come out yet, although it's coming in October. I actually plan to do like a reaction to one of their episodes, like only one episode in general, and it's just going to be random, like whichever one has Kana or Sandy in it. And
Yeah, I'm surprised that no one reacted that a male person was voicing a female character in one of your episodes.
wait, hang on, repeat that. I'm sorry.
I'm surprised that no one who subscribed to you actually reacted to a male, me, voicing a female engine.
Oh,
Ooh, someone just asked a question. Let me see.
all right.
It's someone by Train Fan of James 13. He just asked, Real Fan, are you ever going to use Erdls in your series?
Uh, well, I think the only Erdls I have are Duke and Old Slow Coach, and then we have Patrick, not the cement truck, the mountain engine, formerly known as Lord Harry. So yeah, that basically answers his question. Yes, there will be a few Erdls that I'm going to use in my series. Actually, I have been using them for as long as I can remember.
Are you ever Here's another question. Here's a question that's actually relating to that one. Are
Uh-huh.
you ever going to like get more like mountain engine related like Lord Harry and Coldy Erdls like to make those kind of characters? The ones so you don't have to use a take and play Coldy and then animate it across the track.
Yeah, the whole custom things. Yeah. So basically two reasons why I don't really make customs. So the first reason, one, like considering the fact how long ago the take along and take and play Coldy and the Erdl Patrick was made, I imagine they're probably like maybe rare characters. And even if I do manage to find them, I just couldn't really find it in my heart to like basically ruin the character's livery in the first place because
Hmm,
uh hmm.
very interesting. Do you have any Erdl rolling stock?
The only Earl rolling stock I have is Old Slow Coach and the Slate trucks.
Yeah, I just noticed that for your series. Uh, do you want to continue this interview tomorrow if you're not busy?
Um, well,
If you're not
there is a possibility, but we'll see what the future holds. Um,
okay, so I'll just leave this as a part one, okay? Because I have to go somewhere.
yeah, I'm busy myself.
Okay, well, that's interview part one with Rail Fan number one. I'm Jim55. He's Rail Fan number one, and we'll
Yeah.
see you all on our separate channels.
All right. Later, folks, and thank you for having me, James 55.
No problem.